Okay, hey, Flooring Pros, it's Jerry Levinson here, and I am responding to a couple questions that I've gotten recently. Something that I've seen in my own showroom, something I've experienced myself. It's, how do you handle it when a customer comes in and they're looking for something cheap? I did literally have somebody come in saying, do you have anything for $2 a square foot carpet? Do you have any wood flooring for $5 a square foot? We're trying to do this project for under $3,500, and it's a bigger project. So how do you handle that when they come in just looking for something cheap? Yeah, I know the instincts is to point and laugh hysterically at them. So I think this person's doing it behind their back, so as not to see them laughing hysterically at them. And that's the request, right? It's just unrealistic. The request that they're making at the price point that they're making is not reasonable. So how do you handle that? So first off, I want to know, do you have a way of handling it? We've all had that we've all had that happen before, and we'll complain about it either to Facebook or our employees, but are you prepared? If this is something that happens, and frequently enough, that maybe you should be prepared how to handle that. Are your salespeople prepared how to handle that? Oh, in most cases, not. Something we'll be going over in sales training as well, but you want to be prepared and you want your sales team to be prepared, right? First off, don't inform them at this point that, no, you don't have anything at that price range. Okay. The first thing you want to do, or don't try and find them a product in that price range either. You don't just take that information and run with it. You don't let them set that agenda. It's their agenda. That's what they're coming in for. But don't entertain the idea that their only buying criteria is price. Even though that's how they started off, you don't necessarily need to entertain that. The very first thing you should say, I teach this over and over again, is tell me about your project. What are you working on? So, and then you're going to ask them, how long do you plan on living in the home? I'd like to ask, do you happen to have room measurements on you? The more information you have, the better you can understand their needs and help them with whatever it is that they need. So the best way to overcome the initial price agenda, first, ignore their budget requests and show them what you would truly advise them based on their project needs. If they need carpet in a couple rooms and they're selling the house, you should have something ready to show them what you would advise them to do in that scenario. If they're going to live there 3 to 5 years and then they're going to sell or rent the house, you should be ready and give them advice based on their project, not on their budget requests. Ignore that budget request. This is going to help them immediately increase their budget to a more realistic number. Happens every time. So anytime we show somebody something more expensive, hey, look, I'm not going to spend, my budget's $3,500. You go show them a $5,400 project and they say, look, we could spend $4,500, but that's it. I've seen it happen for years, over 20 years of selling and doing this kind of stuff. I've seen people raise their budgets once they realize that their initial request was unreasonable. If you do show them something at the price that they request, they're going to ask you if you have something less expensive. It's just natural behavior. Again, over 20 years, I see customers' behavior, and that's what they do. If you show them price something at their budget price, they're going to want to know if you have something even less expensive. If you focus on the project, that'll knock them off their price-driven agenda. Everyone's going to pay more money for what they truly want. Look, I bet you could tell me a story of when you've done that. If you were shopping for a car if you're shopping for furniture, no matter what it is you're shopping for, you probably paid more than what you thought it was going to cost or what you were willing to spend when you first came into that store. If they stick to their unreasonable price, they're dead set on it, you're likely not going to get the job anyway. So you don't really have anything to lose by using this strategy. And let's face it, if you want the business that bad, if you're willing to go down to that price, you got to suffer the consequences that go along with that. If you have low margins, if you have trouble with the customer, trouble getting paid, it's a snowball effect that, a price-driven customer can really be bad news for you down the road. So you want to be careful with that, and you want to be prepared as a good salesperson of how to get them away from that price-driven agenda. All right, there's a lot of stuff we teach at sales training every Thursday at noon o'clock Eastern, just $150 a month. You're going to be prepared for these kind of scenarios. You're going to make sure your sales team is prepared for these kind of scenarios. It'll help you increase your closing rate, increase your prices, and improve your overall business. We are in the customer service business. It's not about price. We should not commoditize what we are doing here. There's way too much skill and labor that go into what you're doing. So it's perfectly reasonable for customers to ask for a lower price or ask a price question. They do that because they don't know what else to ask. It's your responsibility to learn how to handle that and to get them off of that. Learn some strategies that's going to help you sell that customer. I love to tell this story. A customer came in looking for a $2 square foot carpet. They had just come from Home Depot. I said, tell me about your project. What are you working on? It's for our master bedroom. Oh, okay. Are you guys selling the house or is this for you? No, we're going to live there. Hey, look, you're going to live in a house. This is for your master bedroom. You don't want a $2 square foot carpet. I didn't tell them that, but that's just, being smart business person and salesperson, that wouldn't serve them well to find them a carpet at that price. I'm doing them a disservice if I entertain that idea and get them some cheap carpet for $2 a square foot. That's a bad thing to do. That's not a good thing to do. So I said, well, let me show you some stuff. I don't have anything around that price range, but let me show you some stuff. Do you guys happen to have your measurements on you? They did have their measurements. I said, well, let's figure out what it would cost. And I show them Bolera carpet, polyester carpet, $650 a square foot. And they fell in love with the carpet. Price came to about $2,300. They said, do you have anything less expensive? Yes. I show them Dreamweaver carpet. They could save a couple $100. They said, it's not worth it. Let's just go with that. They gave me a deposit right on the spot. I never went out to their house and measured, but the whole experience was so much better than what they had at Home Depot. The information that I gave them, the way I treated them, here's the funny thing, if you treat them like a price customer, even though that's what they seem like, that's kind of insulting to them. So treat them as if they're a customer that wants nice things and can afford it. So, and it's not to try and drive up the price on them. It's to sincerely service them and do a good job, and that's what we want. I've never, ever had a bad review saying that I charge too much. Never. Any bad reviews have only come from communication. It's not even bad service. It's communication. It's never about price. And even those that complained, there's only a handful. I can count on one hand all the years I've been in business, how many people have really complained. It was always something with so-and-so said they would get a hold of me and they never did. But even when it comes to the price, they never complain about the price. So you'll be surprised. Raise your prices to what they should be, especially with all this going on, all this turmoil. Customers are still willing to pay to get things done, and they're not as price driven as you think. You just got to learn as a good salesperson how to navigate that. Tell me about your project. What are you working on? Focus on that project. start them off with something higher. They will raise their budget price and you'll be able to get the sale. And believe me, the experience in your showroom is going to be better than that of somebody showing them something cheap in their so-called price range. All right. Good luck, guys. Make a lot of money this week. Okay.